Greetings and salutations. This is the Four Valley Boys podcast. I'm your host and moderator, Fabian Bix. And on tonight's show, we're going to be talking about NBA hot news. Kyrie Irving going to the Dallas Mavericks. We'll talk to you why that's going to be a dumpster fire. We're also going to take this time out to talk about coaching carousel in the NFL and our one last thing. Tony and Big Straw will join me in a moment. And of course, this is the part of the show I say. You know what I say. Let's go.
Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Boys, yeah. Hold on. We them boys. We them boys.
Yeah, at the moment I'm solo dolo on the Four Valley Boys podcast. My guys will be with me in just a minute. Of course, you know we're brought to you by Just For Me. If you got a little grain in your beer you're trying to get right, just go ahead and get you that CB4. CB4. Just For Me. Get it at any of your local stores and pharmacies. Just For Me. Also brought to you by Sprite, the Black folks drink. Also brought to you by Arizona Tea. It's been $1 since 1976. $1.99. $1.08 with tax. Just get your stuff. Arizona Tea. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook at Four Valley Boys. You can follow us on YouTube at Four Valley Boys. BuyANightShirt.com. Bernard Ingram has a great company where if you have panhandling needs or HBCU needs as far as paraphernalia, he's the guy that's going to have all your stuff for you. BuyANightShirt.com. Anything from FAMU to Fort Valley, aka to Iota. BuyANightShirt.com. Get your stuff. Damon's new podcast, Chopping It Up. February 21st is the kickoff date, 12 o'clock Eastern time. So if you live in California, that's 9 o'clock in the morning. Hawaii, that is 6 in the morning. You live in Detroit, support your guy. It's 11 a.m. Chopping It Up. D. Rondo. Watch the show. And of course, our favorite sponsor, Henny & Coke. The Liquor. It's been a great weekend, great week so far. Watched the Pro Bowl a little bit. I will not watch it again. It is a waste of time with the flag football, but of course, player safety. It was different seeing the guys adjusting to different rules of flag football. You can't rush the passes like you are accustomed to in the NFL. You get to show off your agility and speed and athleticism and a lot of different things that flag football can offer without the damaging of CTE or limbs getting torn or broke or anything like that. So it was different. I didn't like it, but that's neither here or there. Um, they're just trying to do something different. Pro Bowl is just one of those it's one of the worst all-star games for sports because it's in between the last game of the year and the championship game. Some of you guys haven't played since week 17. Or haven't made the playoffs. Some of you got eliminated in the wild card weekend. So think about these guys come back after being off for 3 weeks and playing in it. Especially with Tyler Huntley making a Pro Bowl with 2 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions. What's going on, Corey Green? If they need to place this possibly in the middle of the season and save the skills challenge for that weekend, or just use that week off, or just move the Super Bowl to that following week. But you want to have a fair playing ground with make sure everybody has enough time to heal and prepare. So possibly the Pro Bowl might have to move to weeks. Do on 19 weeks though. That'd be an extra bye you could play in there. So that'd be an extra bonus. But then you could do flag football just doing the middle of the season. I just don't think it's fair to have players come back 3 weeks after their season's already been over with. But that's neither here or there. But For what weekend's over with, we dealt with it. Good and gone. Um, one of my things I want to talk about. Um, well, before the guys hop on, that this is going to be a historic Super Bowl. We have two brothers facing off, and we have Travis Kelsey and Jason Kelsey. You didn't catch that, so we brought it up somewhat on Wednesday. Um, Herman Edwards said on first take, when we're going to get to a point where we don't need to worry about having to say brothers. Yes, we do. It's history, especially in Black History Month. We have two African American quarterbacks going head to head in the Super Bowl, two contrasting styles with Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. Patrick Mahomes is a flamethrower. Jalen Hurts has a good arm, has great athleticism, great movement in the pocket, can run. Ran for 15 touchdowns this season, counting the postseason, which is a NFL record. So, and plus, when you look at what they've done for him to support him this year, as far as the building of the team, is probably one of the most stacked teams or most complete teams in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes lost Tyreek Hill. Uh, Defense is, you know, defense is 18th to pass, 18th passing defense, top 10 rush defense. But they're saying you can't call the defense trash. Well, some of the plays they gave up to Cincinnati on the last three drives in that fourth quarter, that can be disconcerting, especially if you're going against AJ Brown, who is 6'3", 6'4", and you got Devontae Smith, a reincarnation of Marvin Harrison. It's going to be there. And Corey Green just brought up both guys are from the state of Texas, and unique flavor to the quarterback position, which it does. Um, Wonder how the scouts are looking now about Patrick Mahomes in the offseason, saying that he's a one read guy, his mechanics are bad. Actually, I think his mechanics are pretty good, especially on one leg with a severely sprained ankle. I just want to see how the ankle's going to look against this Eagles defense because they have stars all across that defense. They have stars across their offense. And the defensive line of Philadelphia versus the offensive line of Kansas City is going to be the battle. This is going to be reminiscent of Tampa Bay versus Kansas City, where Tampa Bay blew them out the water. Only problem was Kansas City didn't have that full complement of offensive linemen, so they were at a disadvantage anyway. Kansas City going to have their offensive line at full strength. Problem is, Philadelphia's defensive line had 70 sacks this year, and that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem to deal with. It's going to be an intriguing game. We'll get down to the details on Wednesday for our Super Bowl picks. So I'm not going to give away too much where I'm leaning, but it's going to be a good game. I just think it's going to be about if I had to put a prop bet, I would say about the over under 5.5 sacks for Philadelphia's defense. I need to look that up, but I think it's 5.5 sacks. It will be a good safe prop bet for the way the Eagles defense has rushed the passer this year. And keep in mind they have Bradbury and Slay at the corners, so that's going to be a problem as well. Like I said, Philadelphia's got a strong defense. So they're going to be very daunting to defeat this year. But like I said, Patrick Mahomes been in this position. Jalen Hurts is cool as they come, but it's his first Super Bowl. Bum shoulder still. We'll see. I don't know. My Keyshawn Johnson voice. Just give him about 20 or 28, 250 yards, couple touchdowns, no picks. You ain't got to throw the ball all over the yard. Super Bowl, you got to do what you got to do. The Eagles did it 5 years ago against the Patriots, threw 500 yards, beat them 40-32. So if you got to throw it all over the yard. That's how you beat the Patriots. Corners were not big. Corners were solid, but not fast like the Eagles' receivers were. And the Patriots' pass rush wasn't all that great. That's why they gave up 40 points. If you really dive into that game, what hurt the Patriots in that Super Bowl was that fourth down play where Brady dropped the first down pass, and the Eagles went right down the field and scored. Because it felt like the Eagles just scored at will at any time. I believe they scored at every drive in that championship game. Um, don't want to touch on too many topics until my guys get here. I want to talk about college basketball a little bit too while we're here. We haven't talked about that much. College basketball this year is wide open, and Purdue just went down to Indiana yesterday. Um, Duke, North Carolina played yesterday. Carolina lost. They're still on the struggle bus after being proclaimed as the preseason number one. They have not had a very good year. They've been inconsistent all year, but I still think they're going to be the team to beat in the ACC. I just think they're going to be a tough out for anybody. I think they're going back to at least the Elite Eight. They brought pretty much their core back, so this is going to be a great game, great March Madness. Why are none of the blue bloods number one? Easy. They're not playing well, Corey. None of the blue bloods are playing well right now. If I have a chance to go ahead and pull up the pull up the top 25 right now, I would expect Purdue to drop at least three to four spots, losing to Indiana. That's going to be one of the tougher conferences. The Big 12, SEC is tough. The Big 10 is tough. The Pac-12, there's I guess you could say USC, UCLA with Nick Cronin as the coach, very good coach. Got into the Final Four a couple years ago. It's got think about it. NIL. I'm going back to Corey's question. NIL is one reason why. Players transferring, actually getting time to play. The COVID year that was added on to players in the 2019-20 season. They want to continue to play, so they're transferring to make sure they get playing time. So the field is more balanced in college, as it ever has been in college basketball. So you have I wouldn't say even playing field, but I would say 60-40 playing field with the Power Fives and the mid majors, or the lesser known Power Fives in the mid majors. So you have quality talent across college basketball, like Iowa State. Kansas having a down year. You think about it, you lost four players from the championship team last year, so they're struggling this year. Baylor has dropped off somewhat since they won the championship in 21. Like I said, North Carolina, they're struggling this year, and they brought the majority of their core back. Duke is under a rebuild right now with John Shire as the coach, trying to find their way. They were just ranked in the bottom part of the top 25 2 weeks ago, and they're not in it anymore. They probably should be entering back at the bottom of the top 25 on Monday when the polls come out. But the Blue Bloods are not playing well, but they're Blue Bloods, and so guess what they're going to do? They're going to show up in the tournament. They're going to do what they're supposed to do. Now, one blue blood I'm worried about is Kentucky. They just lost to Kansas last Saturday, and Kansas has been struggling. So Kansas is 1-5 in the last 6 games. John Calipari, they got to go for me to get John Calipari out of there. So we'll just have to see. Just a lot of college basketball. I'm waiting for the rankings to load up on my computer. Just give me a second. Standings, rankings. That's what I want. But we could talk about women's college basketball. South Carolina beat UConn today. UConn was ranked 5th with a bunch of injuries. Paige Beckers and Azizi was out. Azizi would be back probably around conference tournament time. Beckers messed her knee up before the season started. So imagine if they had those two ladies, they probably made the game a lot closer. I always bet on black, especially when there's a coach that's a 2-time champion like Don Staley. I'm not betting against South Carolina. They dominated the boards yesterday, 43-20, I believe, 43-20, 43-30 in rebounds. I think 25 of those rebounds were offensive rebounds. So they miss a shot, they're going to get it back and put it back in, which is also going to be a concern for me right there also when it comes to tournament time. If you're not making shots and you get a team that's just as big as you are in physical and they're rebounding, that's going to be a problem. So South Carolina probably need to clean that up a little bit, stay strong on the boards, get easier shots, run the floor a little bit more. I don't see anybody beating South Carolina in the tournament, the NCAA tournament. Now, they lost Kentucky last year in the SEC tournament. That's why the winning streak is only 25 games. But I would not bet against South Carolina right now for the women's tournament. Men's tournament, I just don't know who's going to win that thing because it's too wide open. Like Corey just said, why are blue blood schools struggling? Like I said, NIL, the extra year of eligibility because of COVID. Now we're looking at Purdue's number 1, Tennessee's number 2, Houston's number 3, Alabama's 4, Arizona's 5, Virginia's 6, Kansas State is 7, Kansas is 8, UCLA is 9, and Texas is 10. That's an intriguing team because they just fired their coach for being arrested for domestic violence, and they still have a top 10 team, which means he is recruiting very well, and that's going to be that team's going to be a problem. But I just think coaching matters and point guard play in the tournament matters. So as we come to the stage right now, we have Pretty Tony. What's they call him? Pretty Tony. What is the business?
What's up, man? What's up? What's up?
Same
Sorry,
thing.
sorry about being late, man.
No, you good. I'm just talking my shit
You
about
been doing it dolo?
yeah, just talking my shit about college football, college basketball.
Look at him. I hear you.
Yeah, Corey asked a good
I
question.
really don't have much to say about college basketball, man. It's not. I don't really. To be honest with you, man, I really don't mess with it no more. It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same, especially when in a couple of years they're probably gonna have to take out the 1 year eligibility. Either you make it no years eligibility or you make it 2 years. Because when we were growing up in college, when we watched college basketball, we knew those guys. They stayed 3-4 years.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Now it's just 1 year, or they go to the G League, get a check, which I'm not knocking them for it. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, make the money and get in the league.
Mm-hmm. So, no, I definitely think they could benefit from going to a different format. Kind of like what the NFL does. Give them the option. If you're good enough to go straight to the pros, hey, go. But no, if you do go to college because you're not going to be a lottery pick, then I think you should have to do 2-3 years, man.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. If you look at it from the long term perspective, like you got an NBA vet that's been in the league 10, 12 years, that's probably another 13 through 15 on the roster. You bring in a young guy with either 0 or 1 year college experience, he's gonna probably take that guy's spot just based on raw talent. And he's gonna cost a little bit more than that vet. Which is why I would think like going overseas for those guys would be an option. Also, the big three, I haven't seen the big three in 2 years, probably because COVID. Did you see that? There was a video I saw on YouTube about they're talking about Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
I ain't seen the video, but that was my boy, man.
Oh yeah, I love
he was an assassin, dude.
Man, he was
an
assassin for Steph Curry.
Yeah, that's exactly, exactly, man. He was an assassin.
There's nobody like Steph Curry. Like, yes, it was. Chris Jackson, LSU, Shaq played for. That was a bad.
That was a bad boy, man. Bad boy.
And David Stern ran him out of the league. Him and Craig Hodges. If Craig Hodges would stayed in, man, they don't tell him. Craig Hodges was he's Klay Thompson for Klay Thompson.
Yeah. But I mean, back then, I don't think he would have still. I don't think he still would have turned into a starter.
No, he would have been a starter, but he would have been. Him and Dale Curry were hired assassins off the bench. Yeah, I think his. I mean, if you need instant offense, he's gonna give 15, 16 points quick. Yeah, of course, they need to make a rule that college basketball kids stay at least 2 years. That needs to be. That needs. I mean, that's an NBA thing. College is not going to make any rules like that. That's the problem they had with the had to be a certain age. So 20 years old would be 2 years. Unless you start go to college early at 17, then you're looking at possibly 3 years. So that's something they need to talk about. But
it definitely is an NBA thing. The NBA should step in. No, because it's man, I tell you, man, it's watered down. When I tell you, as much as a sports fan as I am, as much as I used to love tournament time, dude, I don't I mean, I still watch the tournaments when they come on. I mean, I can't help it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's in me. But as far as keeping up with it throughout the year now,
yeah,
I
it's,
mean, I have no interest, man. No interest, man.
yeah. The NBA need to do something, either 2 year rule or just let them all come and then be through with it. But at the same time, with coaches jumping around, players, the NIL's making a big difference too. And what I was saying, the COVID year is added on a year to players' eligibility, and they want to move around and make sure they can play and probably build up their possible draft status. So
Hmm.
that's why, another reason why it's watered down now. At least
Hmm.
when it was 2015, Kentucky's team they had that lost in the championship game to, who they lose to that year? UConn with
Hmm.
UConn with Shabazz Napier's squad. They brought
Hmm.
the entire team back. At
Hmm.
least we knew all those guys. All seven of those guys got drafted. That was the Derek Booker draft. He was on the bench. He was on the bench on that Kentucky team. I tell you how loaded they were. They still couldn't get it done because they got. I remember this game like yesterday. 3 minutes to go. Um, Bad call on a goal 10, or I think it was 24, 35-second shot clock violation. Bad call. Wisconsin beat them. Wisconsin
Hmm.
played Duke and lost to Duke. And Duke squad pretty deep too, because they had Grayson Allen coming off the bench. And I think Tyus Jones will come off the bench also, I want to say, or he was starting. I think he was starter that year. But it's watered down. It's like Kool-Aid. It's like apple juice when you try to give it to your child and you pour some water in there, keep it being too sweet. That's how watered down it is.
Yeah, I agree.
But I want to go ahead and get started on talk about this trade that popped off today. That uh, I know it ain't for the word. For those that have been living under a rock for today, Kyrie Irving went to Dallas for Spencer Dinwiddie, a pack of Marlboros, two second round picks, and a 2029 first round pick, and another player. Dorian Finney-Smith was the other player.
A 2029 first round pick,
Yeah,
man.
because all their picks went to Houston for James Harden.
I know, man, but goodness gracious, man. They gave that boy away, man.
Yeah, they
I
get what
mean,
you couldn't get Orlando to get in the trade, try to get maximize and stuff. That's, I mean, the epitome. I don't want you working here no more. Was a person.
and
Kyrie Irving
and
was that
and
dude.
and LeBron's sick, dude.
What is that?
I just LeBron's sick. I
Oh
just
yeah,
saw some. I just saw. You never can. You never really fully know what these guys be talking about. But he just tweeted something a little while ago talking about it must be me. The shit was funny. For real. It must be me.
no, Rob Pelinka. You should have pulled the trigger in the offseason. That's what you should have did. You should have pulled the trigger with Russell. With Russell, trade him, give away that first round pick. Just those two first. Go ahead and buy out Russell, but then Russell's legacy would be he a buyout player. I mean, but how does this work in Dallas with 2 point guards that need the ball and they average 60 points combined? They're the highest scoring duo in the league now. How does this
It's
work?
not. It's not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work. It's pretty much. It's even on a bigger scale, but it's pretty much the same thing that I said. When the Lakers got Russell Westbrook, man. No, you got two ball dominant players, man, that want the ball in their hands at pretty much all time. Luka pretty much been running the point. The ball's always in his hands, whether he's scoring or distributing the ball and making things happen for his teammates. So, no, I don't see how it's gonna work, man. I don't really see how it's gonna work. Definitely a experiment, short time. So I really don't even think Kyrie gonna sign an extension. He don't want to be in Dallas.
No,
You know what I'm saying? Like, what he gonna do out there in Dallas, man?
tax free, straight state. Dallas is a black
Yeah,
city, but
yeah,
but at the same time, it's Dallas, Bible Belt. I mean, that's gonna be a tough sell. If it's Houston, I could understand that. Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. Drake said it. Houston, Atlanta, Vegas.
yeah.
But right now, if you're Spencer Dinwiddie, just look at Spencer Dinwiddie. You tore your knee up on the Nets. They didn't want to re-sign you. You went to Washington. Then they traded you to Dallas. Now you're going back to the Nets, and they didn't want you. And now they want you because they had to throw you in the trade to make the money work. If you Spencer Dinwiddie right now, what you feeling like right now?
Salty, shitty. Man, why is you watching the Pro Bowl?
Man, I watched that mess earlier today, man. I'm like, man,
Dude, why is Ray Lewis and Snoop Dogg on the sidelines, man?
the assistant coaches, man. The assistant coaches, dog. One's gonna pray to God, the other gonna smoke weed with the guys. Just say, just say.
Oh,
I mean, this. I mean, I get it with the flag football. I had said it in my open monologue. Just move the Pro Bowl to mid-year, make that a bye week, and keep it moving. Because think about it, it's not equitable because you're gonna have guys come back from having played in 3 weeks to play in a game.
yeah.
That make no sense to me. That's every other sport is mid-year. You can do
But I mean, I agree with the mid-year, but what the hell would you do?
it. It'll be flag. It'll be. I'll still keep it flag football
Uh,
because if you make it tackle football,
I
it's
mean,
mid-year.
no. I mean, I get that, but I don't know, man. I think it should be some kind of skill challenge. I don't even think it should be a game. I think it should just be like a little ceremony, maybe like a kind of skill challenge type of deal. And I mean, and then keep it moving, man. That's the issue with trying to do it during the season. No injuries, man. Injuries. No, at least at the end of the year people that's in the playoffs and the people that's in the Super Bowl not going to participate.
No, they're not.
So you don't really at the end of the year, you have less of a chance as per se as people opting not to participate because they're worried about injuries and scared about injuries. Hell, I heard oh, what's his name? I heard Miles Garrett. Some of they think he may have dislocated his toe or something like that in a drill earlier today.
At least it's the off season, so I can see that part because again, hurt mid-year. They're gonna be
Yeah.
so I guess, but the flag football part, I'm like looking at it, I'm like, this is at least make it a 7-on-7. Make it,
Mm,
I don't know, but that's you can't. Well, I saw some of the rules you can't block. Peyton Manning was crying about them. You can't take a knee because they're taking a knee at the end of the game. The NFC team was, and so that's
mhm.
illegal. I'm like, why you can't take a knee? Y'all gonna lose? What y'all gonna do? Stop them? You ain't stopped them the whole day.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
but back to the Irving thing. I want to flash forward to July 1. At the end of the season,
Mhm,
Kyrie's a true free agent.
mhm.
Where he going, and who going to sign him, and what kind of contract you giving him? You sign him.
Um, I mean, the only team that I can really think of, man, is the Lakers, man. The Lakers. I don't really know what they would give him or how much they would give him. Um, but I think that definitely would be a team that have some kind of interest. Um, that's really the only team I can think of, man. Like he's a team killer, man. He's a franchise killer, man. Kyrie's terrible, dude. Yeah, he has a terrible attitude. Can't be trusted. No, I said it a million times before. Um, I was shocked about this trade demand, but wasn't shocked at the same time. If that makes sense. I just man, he's a trip, man. Always has been. Always has been. Even when he was in Cleveland. Uh, before before LeBron got there, he had a shitty attitude. When LeBron got there, he had a shitty attitude. Then wanted out because he didn't want to be up under LeBron's shadow, quote unquote. Went to Boston. So I mean, dude, he's a prime example of what I be telling some people, man, that I deal with. No, it can't always be the other person, man. Sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and it's you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing everywhere he goes, man. It ain't always other people. Sometimes when the same thing, same situation, same results and everything keep happening to you over and over again, it's not other people, man. You gotta look in the mirror, man. And it's you.
Yeah, let's take a look at his last 6 years in the NBA. We'll see six. We'll do seven. 2016 title, 2017 lost in the finals, 2018 you didn't even play in the conference finals, 2019 knocked out the second round, 2020 you tried to make everybody stay home with you because you tore your shoulder up. You could have played in the bubble, but you didn't because you healed from your surgery. And then the next year you took 2 weeks off because of insurrection because you were traumatized by the factious QAnon or whatever, and you had a badly sprained ankle in the second round. You lost to Milwaukee. You got swept last year. This year you traded to the Bible Belt. That don't sound like a success story right there to me.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
That's just off the top of my head right there. I ain't had the research his last 7 years. That's just keep in mind he had some type of nasal surgery because he had sleep apnea or something with his eyes why he couldn't play into the conference finals against LeBron, which means you didn't want to go against LeBron. He didn't play that series. Yeah, not 1 minute in that series. He might. I know he. I want to say he didn't play in that series.
Anyway.
That just I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I feel you on the Lakers. That might be his only play. What would have been the best fit for the well. They couldn't go. He couldn't go to the Clippers. They had no draft capital because they traded all this stuff to that's the Oklahoma City to get Paul George. He's part of the load management first All Star team. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and if I'm the Clipper right now, I'm thinking like, man, we could have kept Shea Gilgis and been through with it. But Kawhi said, I want Paul George. You got Paul George, and what have y'all done? Knocked out the
Nothing.
second round. You didn't play in. Kawhi didn't play in the finals. Then last year you didn't even get past the play in. Didn't get the play in. So I'm like, the Lakers would be his only play. But if I had to give him a contract, it'd be a 1-1,
Mm-hmm.
a team option for that second year, and then
Well, second year. Yep.
I keep signing him. Every year, like would be a team option. I'm like, you got to play. I know he can, but whatever the next collective bargain agreement happens, they're gonna have to talk about players need to play 70% of the games or something like that. And if it's 100 games, 70, so 70% would be about 60 to 65 games. This Joker has this.
I don't really know how I feel about that though, Fade, because I don't really think it's necessarily. I don't think it's necessarily the players. I think some of the players do it,
Most of the
but I
other
think it's more. I think it's more so. You know what I'm saying, coaching and strategy now. You know, as far as trying to preserve. You know what I'm saying,
yeah.
prevent injury and what I'm saying, trying to preserve. The league is a copycat league. Once it works, what I'm saying, for somebody, they feel like that's the way to go. And that's the road to take. So I don't necessarily think that's something. I don't really think that's a player issue though. I really don't. I think that's more so of like I said, a coaching issue, a franchise issue that it's gonna have to be addressed at that level. That's just my opinion.
And you know who's the godfather of
Oh
load
yeah, I
management?
know. Yeah, I know who. I know who.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
pop,
old Pop.
pop, pop. That's why I say it's a copycat league. You know what I'm saying? Pop started it. And you saw where it got San Antonio.
Hmm.
So, oh, that's the way to do it.
And there was a Stephen A. tell this story of the year the repeat year for the Heat. It was a Thursday night TNT game. Spurs are in town for the
Mm-hmm.
Heat. They had
Mm-hmm.
sent Tim, Manu, and Tony to the airport in Orlando. They didn't even make it to Miami. It's like, hey, y'all go back to Texas. We'll see you in a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
They had
Mm-hmm.
Chick-fil-A, and they looking like, what y'all doing here? Oh, we gotta go to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And the Heat paid them, did the same thing to them when they came to San Antonio late March.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chris Bosh did play. They won that game though, but barely. 'Cause I think Bosh hit the game winning three. But yeah, Greg Popovich is the godfather of load management, and I think Kawhi Leonard parlayed that into a championship with Toronto because the year when he tore his quad against, I think it was his ankle or his quad. I think it was
It's quiet.
his quad against the Golden State in 17. Played 9 games that year. And he's one of those players where if I have to be at 102% just to play. He played 9 games and shipped him to Toronto. Like, we'll just take Jakob Poeltl and DeMar DeRozan. We'll take that, and we don't even want no draft picks. I'm like, you crazy? You didn't want no draft pick? I'm like, but they won the title because Masai Ujiri told him, like, just I know you didn't come back, just win me a championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it worked too. It worked. I gotta give him the prop.
He only played 60 games that year. Only played 60. Missed 22 games. Here comes the big straw. Big straw. Big straw. Big straw. What to do?
What's going on, gentlemen? Hope all is well.
What's happening? What's happening?
What's going on, Pretty Tony? What they call him?
You coming in hot. Give us your thoughts on this Kyrie Irving trade.
Man, been thinking about this one all day. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And the reason it's not gonna work is because okay, Luka been playing good. We talking about Luka scoring 50 points, 40 points, and now you got another ball dominant guard coming in. Nah, this one not gonna work. I guess this is supposed to be a tryout thing. If Dallas had any chance, any championship aspirations, they just went to the wayside. That's how bad I feel about it. Yeah, he won a championship in Cleveland with LeBron, but that was LeBron and that was a minor. That wasn't the same Kyrie. Now this Kyrie thinks he's bigger than the game, pretty much, and it's not gonna work. It's just not. I'm sorry. I want it to work because I want to see him try to salvage some semblance of himself because he has such a bad name in the league now. But it's not going to work. Good job. Good luck, Luka. Good luck, Luka.
And you traded depth for him, too.
Yeah.
You traded
Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith. So, that's considering how they're playing.
They're not going to be the same. They're not going to be the same defensively. That's what's going to hurt.
No, it's going to be.
They're going to be terrible on defense.
And you got me about calling Kansas City defense trash last week. Kyrie Irving's defense is trash.
Yes.
Can we agree on that?
I agree.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Good to making sure. And one last question before we move on to the NFL coaching carousel. If he's a true free agent at the end of this year, Ryan, where is he going? And what kind of contract would you give him if he's going there?
I'm okay. So the reason that this whole thing started off was because he didn't get the max deal with New Jersey. So excuse me, where was it? Is it New? It's not New Jersey. It's Brooklyn. I keep thinking New Jersey. Man, I don't know. I don't know who is willing to take on who. There's going to be plenty of teams that's willing to give him a max, but who is going to be willing to take on the drama? The drama, and now they talking about. I don't know. I'm trying to think of who actually need. There are plenty of teams that need a guard, but I'm going to say somewhere on the West Coast, bro. I'm going to say somewhere on the West Coast. He ain't spent a lot of time out on the West Coast, so I'm going to say somewhere on the West Coast.
It's going to be a hot mess in July 1, man. It's going to be a hot mess. Yeah. I feel bad for KD. You the one to hit your wagon to your boy.
Yeah. That's why he went there. Now they talk about him going to Phoenix. Yeah.
KD.
Yes, someone KD possibly going to Phoenix. They've already reached out because the deadline is Thursday. So since the deadline is Thursday, they're trying to see exactly what if he still willing to move.
They should have went ahead and made that deal this summer. Just blew that whole thing up this summer.
Yeah.
And start over.
So maybe Aiden gonna get his wish. Who knows?
Gonna have to be Aiden and Crowder, maybe Cam Johnson and a couple picks. That sounds equitable, and KD just go. But yeah, I think Aiden they could trade him out because he's trade eligible after January 15th. KD to 2 first-round picks from Phoenix with Crowder, Aiden, and you had to give up a young talent, either Mikal Bridges, or
I was say they're gonna have to give up. They're gonna have to give up one of them, Bridges, or I can't remember the other dude name. But it's
Cam Johnson. It's Cam Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Booker's non-negotiable.
No, Booker's non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable. While we're on Booker, before we get to the NFL, I know I keep saying it for the last 5 minutes. Is Booker an actual true superstar in your eyes?
No, I think he's right below that. I think he's right below that, in my opinion. He's a really, really good player. Him and as much as I love Ja Morant, but Ja Morant is almost there. They almost like right there. Super. You know what? When you start mentioning him late in the season as a real viable MVP candidate, that's when he's going to hit superstar. You can have all the NBA 2K covers and this and that, but I don't know if the last NBA 2K cover that's been an MVP, I think, was Kobe. So, I mean, man, that I remember. I take that back. KD. When you can count on Booker like you count on KD to do what he gonna do, that's when it's for real.
And Bolo realized KD averaged 30 points a game in playoffs and special finals games. So he's a slim reaper, easy money sniper. That he earned that nickname.
Easy money sniper, easy money, baby.
Tony, what you think?
What is Devin Booker a superstar?
Mm-hmm.
No. Very good star, but superstar, nah.
Look at that picture to the right there. I remember I saw that. I saw that right here. PJ took it like, really? He looked like, really? We're gonna do this?
Mm-hmm. What you think, Frank?
No, he ain't no star. He no one near it. Ain't no superstar. The only superstar he gonna get close to when he on his iPod playing Luther Vandross or Usher. That's the closest he gonna get to a superstar.
Long ago.
Don't you remember you told me you love me, baby?
Oh boy.
You going back this way again. Baby. Ooh, baby. And I love you. That's the closest he's gonna get to a superstar right now. Or the Usher.
So all right. So let me ask you this then.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since we how many superstars you think there are in the league right now?
Let's see. Giannis, Steph, LeBron, Luka because of international.
I can see that.
That's it. You don't think KD is a superstar?
Oh yeah, KD. That's my 5. That's my 5 right there. Okay, they transcend. Those players transcend.
Your name's Steph, right?
Yeah, but Steph, Giannis, KD, Luka, and LeBron. Those 5 right there because they transcend across the transatlantic. When Embiid wins a title, I'll give him, if he wins MVP, which he's not going to win this year. Jason Tatum's not a superstar. Jason Tatum's not a superstar. Corey Green. He is nowhere near the way he
He's
looked.
knocking on the door.
He's an adult, but he's not a superstar.
He's knocking on the door.
Yeah, he's
I
not.
think he's the closest to the conversation. That's not there.
Yeah,
Like
but I mean,
he's literally knocking on the door.
yeah, he's right there. He's right there. This guy,
But
anytime you pull up Bleacher and they start talking about Tatum versus this guy in a showdown, he's right there, man. He is right
yeah,
there.
he's right there. He's knocking on the door.
If Jamon, if you watching right now, I need you to click on that link and join the show because you're our resident basketball coach on here. Because we're gonna need you during the March Madness. If you watching right now, go ahead and click on the link, hop on the show right quick, give us your thought. But here's Mario said Booker's a barely an all-star. I agree with that. Embiid, not yet. Jason Tatum, he needs to win the championship. Steph Curry, of course, and Giannis. Yeah, like I said, with Giannis and Luka, they transcend globally. Just like Yao Ming. Yao Ming didn't win shit. And he was a superstar just
He was no, he wasn't. He no. I mean, he wasn't a superstar.
1 billion folks, 7 billion folks watching you.
He wasn't a superstar.
You know what? The only reason he was an international. I would say he was an international star. I'm not gonna say he was a superstar.
He's an international star.
Yeah,
He
because
wasn't
I
a
mean,
superstar.
let's not forget he took some I think there was 1 year he got injured and he still made the All-Star team because everybody over there voted for him. If I'm not mistaken, that was like his first or second year.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's an international star. But I mean,
yeah, definitely an international star. But he wasn't a superstar.
He wasn't a superstar.
Here's the name right here. He's not a superstar.
Kawhi?
On low management, he is.
Yeah. No, he's not a superstar.
Nowhere near. But yeah, those are the 5. If y'all want to argue,
he was there.
He
was there.
Yeah,
he was there.
Into that,
he was on the cusp
to that bubble.
Yeah,
to that
he
bubble.
was on the cusp.
If they'd have won the title in the 2 years that he was almost pretty much healthy, he'd have been a superstar, and he would have should have went to the Lakers. That what he should have did. Should have went to the Clippers. Magic had him. Oh, that's neither here. There's some stupid. Going to be some stupid.
Should have stayed. He should have stayed in Toronto.
Yeah, I agree. They would have went back. They would have went back.
Them boy, they would have went back to back. Them boy had a squad, dude.
Yeah, Pascal, him, Van Vliet, Kyle, Valanciunas.
Valanciunas won there. That was Gasol.
Gasol, that's right. Gasol, my bad. Gasol. I knew it was a big foreign center. But Corey said there are going to be some superstars that are not going to get a ring. Tatum, I believe, will get one eventually. But right now, there's really no. I mean, when you think about a superstar, when I look at it, they transcend globally, and I need to stop what I'm doing to watch them.
Right. They are marquee.
Yeah,
they are marquee. They are the people that we pay to watch. It's like LeBron versus anybody, basically.
Yeah.
It's like Steph. You think you're gonna see? Okay, so the tickets came out for. I think the Hawks are playing. The Hawks are playing Steph and the Warriors here soon. I think it's later this month. And girlfriend texted me and she said, asked me why they were so high. The tickets were high, and they weren't even floor seats. These were middle bowl in the arena. And I said, because this is defense Steph. It's almost like Michael Jackson and his 4 brothers, Steph and the defending champs. That's why they.
Steph and the Temptation.
Yes.
Championship winning coach said Tatum is that guy.
He is that guy. That's my favorite player in the NBA. But he's not a superstar yet. He's knocking on the door.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For real. He's knocking on the door. But he's not a superstar yet.
Jamal, click that link in the chat, man. Click that link, hop on here, because I want to hear your rationale behind it. But let me get Corey that comment in, because I'm gonna go ahead and move on to some culture carousel, then we'll hop back on this if we have time. I understand exactly what you guys are saying, but it takes time. Let's give him credit. He's taking his team to the Eastern Conference Championship and the finals.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not hating. No. Yeah, man. That's my favorite.
We say
That is my favorite player in the NBA.
I
But
don't.
he's not a superstar yet.
I don't stop what I'm doing to watch him. I don't stop what I'm doing.
so. You remember? I think this is here's the thing. We talking about people that transcend, but we also talking about people and how they've developed too. So I want you to remember that when him and Jaylen Brown first got to Boston, they thought Jaylen Brown was going to be better than Tatum. And Tatum has outgrown him by leaps and bounds.
No. Jaylen Brown is probably one of the top 3 two-way players in the NBA. Top 3.
But who are we? That I guess my
He
thing.
ain't better. He ain't Jason Tatum.
He ain't Jason Tatum, but he's a
Right.
better defender.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's
No,
like
he is. Jaylen Brown. I mean, he got Jaylen Brown is he like you say he's one of the best defenders in the NBA.
Mhm.
He got his role, but
But
he ain't no Tatum.
he ain't no Tatum. He ain't no Tatum. We talked about
And I will give Stroud I will give Stroud props on this. He was the quote unquote guy. You know what I'm saying? When they first came into the league together, everybody thought that, he was gonna be the guy, he was gonna take over.
Jamon. I ain't
God,
saying
ain't nobody
he wasn't,
saying,
Jamon.
oh
I ain't
man.
saying he wasn't, Jamon. I ain't saying he wasn't.
Just put like this. It wasn't Jason Tatum they wanted. They wanted
No.
Jaylen Brown in Brooklyn.
Right. But see, the development of Tatum has solidified that whole team. We talked preseason. We didn't think. I thought that the loss of the coach was going kind of do something to him. It ain't done nothing.
No.
It hadn't done nothing.
But
they've come out like, okay, so that's fine. We gonna do what we do. Led by Jason Tatum.
We'll see in the playoffs, though. I mean, they're gonna have the best record, but I want to see if they worked on the handles in the offseason. If you watch that Golden State series, I want to see if they worked on the handles. And it still looks a little suspect for Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I'm about to say. I mean, it's almost like I feel like it's hard to criticize people, man, because then you feel like you hating. You know what I'm saying? But
No, I don't care. I'll say what I say.
but I mean, Jaylen Brown is who really struggled. Like Tatum didn't have a great series against Golden State, but he still held his own. Jaylen Brown was a turnover machine in the Golden State series, dude. Turnover machine, man. And that's not hating on him.
No.
Yeah, he was bad. I mean, that's why I say his handles were like the second season of The Wire. What the hell? So
All right, don't do that. That was one of my favorite seasons.
it was mine.
That was a slept on season.
I like season 2, but okay, I put it like this: the last 5 minutes of the finale, y'all done basically did a revolution. You did it start over, just like that. But it was bad, dog. It was bad. I don't want to know his averages. Let's see. I got him right here. Jaylen Brown, 23 points a game in that series. Jason Tatum, now that's the leaders. I want the actual averages. I don't want all this fluff stuff. I want the actual. Nah, never mind. Don't even worry about it. Oh, here we go. Jaylen Brown averaged 23.5 points a game. Jason Tatum, 21. Turnovers per game. Jason Tatum, 4. Jaylen Brown, 3.
I thought it was the other way around.
Now Tatum turned the ball over way more because you had Andrew Wiggins and on them, and they had Draymond shooting the gap on them.
Sneaky along.
Jaylen had some bad turnovers, man. And a lot of his turnovers were getting caught up in the air, like making bad decisions and getting caught up in the air and throwing the ball away, man.
You know, he looked like in that finals. He looked like had a little Westbrook in him in that final. a little Westbrook. But when you become for the king, you best not miss. And then Mario say put that lock on him. That lock. All right, we got one more topic right quick before we hit the road. No, Sundays we don't usually talk about NFL, but we talked about a plethora of topics. That's like SAT word, y'all. Plethora. Never thought you heard me use that word.
Means many or more than one.
More than one. Thank you, sir. There's a cornucopia of coaching changes that's going on. Ooh, I'm on one today. Indianapolis and Arizona still have not found their coaches yet. I'm guessing Indianapolis is trying to figure out how to get Jeff Saturday in without using the Rooney Rule, but they're not going to be able to do that. D'Amico Ryans is in Texas. Sean Payton is in Denver. Frank Reich is in Carolina. Let me see. Ty Bowles still has a job. I'm trying to figure that part out, but I'm not a hater. I want black coaches to succeed, but Ty Bowles has had one winning season as a head coach. 1 out of 6.
So
he wasn't gonna be one and done though, man.
Nah, he was one. He the coordinator. He was a DC there, right, when they won the Super Bowl, correct? They gonna give him that. But now the rubber is meeting the road because of the announcement that came this week. So now everything else is on him.
Yeah,
it's your team. Before you could have said, "Well, Brady this and Brady that."
Brady this, Brady that. I had oh man, what's his name? The coach that I had Arians leftovers on his staff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't had my staff in place the way I want to do it. You know, them cleaning the house with all the assistant coaches was definitely, like, okay, like we getting rid of all excuses now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah, no excuses now. No excuses now. You got to come with it. So best of luck to him. Best of luck to him. That's about all I'm gonna say about that one. We want him to succeed. Best of luck to him.
Another coaching position that's being slept on right now is the offensive coordinator position for the Baltimore Ravens. I put in the chat a couple of days ago. Remember, Airbnb only signed a 1-year deal this year to stay on as offensive coordinator. Lamar Jackson needs an offensive coordinator.
But it's Lamar. Here's the thing. It's a couple of more dominoes got to fall, don't it? Do we know that Lamar is going to be there?
We don't know that, but I'm gonna give you 3 places where I can see Lamar playing right now. I know we're supposed to be talking about coaching, but we already know one black coach got hired. We good. The offensive coordinator from Philadelphia gonna get hired in Arizona. The defensive coordinator from Philadelphia is gonna get hired in Indianapolis unless Aaron Glenn gets an actual shot. I'm trying to figure out how Aaron Glenn is gonna be a viable option. They had a bottom 10 defense in Detroit, but they did come back and had a winning season though. They turned around with their defense. Lamar to Atlanta, Lamar to Houston, Lamar to San Francisco. Which one seems like the best one for you?
Or Lamar staying in Baltimore.
Or the Jets.
Or Lamar staying in Baltimore.
With what? I'm looking at my desk. You know, you leave work, you can clean off your desk. You want to make sure it's neat before you go home. I got a lamp. I got my router. I got my mouse. I got my phone right here. That's what he got in Baltimore. That's what he got. Nothing on his desk. He got nothing.
So the only thing I love, we talked about this earlier this week in the chat. I like Lamar to San Francisco. I like that. I like it a lot. But are you ready to give up on the quarterback that you just drafted 2 years ago? I understand Jimmy G. You know, you've been trying to get rid of Jimmy G when Jimmy G came to really save your season to a certain extent. And now you got Brock Purdy. Don't look like he's going to come back anytime soon.
He'll be out for the year.
So
Tommy John surgery, more than likely.
Yeah. So, if you're ready to give up on him and you think you can get him and you think the price tag and you still think you're going to be able to build around him and you still going to have Kittle, you still going to have Deebo Samuel. If you think you can pull that off, pull the trigger on the San Francisco.
Lamar Jackson not going to San Francisco, man.
So you think you're gonna stay in Baltimore with the crab case and the empty desk?
Crab cakes are good.
Yeah, they are.
Honestly, yeah, I do. I don't think it's going. I don't think it's going to play out this offseason.
So they're gonna franchise them.
Because Baltimore still got the leverage.
Yeah,
So no, regardless of how we look at it and what we feel like he may should get, and what I'm saying, all that. No, he still has Baltimore still has the leverage.
I don't know. If I'm, that sounds terrible. If I'm Baltimore, I know I got to come off of 230 in escrow for Lamar at minimum 230 because it showed the last 2 years. If I'm not in the lineup, we average half the points that I give you a game. Either you're gonna give me 250, or you're gonna trade him somewhere and get three first round picks for him.
And if he does, if he's not in Baltimore, the most sense makes would be the Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons could have had Deshaun Massage
They
Watson.
can make it work. They got a quarterback they could trade that Baltimore probably would,
Desmond
be
Ritter.
all right with.
Yeah, Desmond Ritter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't thought the Jets would be a better option, but I don't think they want to trade
Nah,
the conference.
nah. They don't want Zach Wilson, man.
No, I mean you're gonna cut him outright. I might as well. Tavares Waller, he thinks he's gonna hold out if he stay.
He may. I mean, like I say, I'm not 100% sold that he's gonna play next year, but I'm 100%. I'm about 95% sure he's gonna be in Baltimore, whether he's playing or he's holding out. Baltimore has the leverage. They're gonna franchise him. If they don't sign no long-term deal, they're gonna franchise him.
Yeah, they got to May I think week before free agency start to sign to a deal. So
and this could play out for a long time because this is just be the first franchise. They could do it again.
Yeah, that's gonna suck for him. I mean, he can do what Kirk Cousins. They put them numbers over 2 years and get his outright free agency and get a true 3 years, $120 million, all guaranteed right now, and then sign another deal in 3 years. I'm gonna look at the draft order right quick before we go. Let me see, because the Dolphins lost their first round pick, one of their first round picks, because of tampering charges from last year. So that's why it's only 29 picks. There's 32 teams, but it's only, I don't think they wait for the Super Bowl. So it's gonna be 31 picks this year. If I'm gonna scroll down and see where Baltimore's at, Vegas has a first round pick. That'd be an option for them too.
I think the interesting thing about Vegas is going to be Aaron Rodgers. Watch out for that.
Yeah, but do they have the capital? No. Do Vegas have the capital? Because they traded away three first round for Devontae. But they got a first round pick this year. I'm trying to see where that first round pick came from. No, that's their original first round pick. So they had another pick. They had on lock. But looking at Baltimore, they need some draft capital. So I can see New Orleans could be an option too. New Orleans got a great defense. Offense, they might need a coordinator because they're coordinating with the Denver.
So well,
who left the Saints staff when done?
Sean Payton.
I mean, you said their coordinator, like
he was the offensive coordinator.
I mean, come on, man. All right, man.
I'm just saying. I mean, if you're a black coordinator, you under Sean Payton, you might want to find you another job.
I mean, I get that, but what I'm saying is, I mean, dude, come on, man. If you on the if just in conversation, if you say the coordinator leaves Denver and go to the Saints, nobody's gonna be thinking about you talking about Sean Payton. I'm thinking, some other coordinator left the Saints because Sean Payton went to the Broncos. I'm thinking the coordinator left the staff and went out there, to be with Sean Payton. You follow me?
I was just being funny as hell. That's all.
I know it. I know that. I know now.
Pete Carmichael's the offensive coordinator for the Saints, so he's still there, and he should be getting ready to look for another job
Yeah,
after.
he should be looking for another damn job.
Yeah, because
Him and Adam personally.
y'all left
That's who
Andy
should have been. That's who should have been one and done.
y'all
Why
left
they?
y'all
Huh?
left Andy Dalton as the starting quarterback, and James was the better option.
I don't understand. I don't understand why they hate on my boy, man.
He the wrong shade because
Yeah, he got too much of a tan.
he got too much melanin. All right, y'all. It's 10-10. What final thing you got for us today, Big Straw? One last thing you got.
Man, Eric Bieniemy is still out there, and let's not forget Brian Flores. They both getting jobs, so they're both out there to get jobs. So let's continue to have hopes for both of them, as well as Byron Leftwich. And I know we talked about just a second ago that we got our one. About tired of this token. Let's keep. We got qualified people in the NFL. That's about all I've got. Let's keep. It's Black History Month. Let's keep this thing going. Positive for our Black people, and let's keep. This is really when we focus in on our Black history. But Black history, like I tell folks every day, Black history is every day, not just on February. It's every day. They ain't gonna give us the shortest money. Expect us not to say nothing about it.
What you got? One last thing, Tony.
Aaron Rodgers, man. I really don't like this dude, man. Like, I really don't like this dude, man. He has a real arrogant spirit about him, and it just kills me how. No, I don't remember. I don't really know if a lot of y'all remember. Y'all should, because we all pretty much the same age on here. But to the people listening, I don't really know if y'all remember the issues that were going on at Green Bay the last couple of seasons that Brett Favre was there, where every year he didn't know whether he didn't know if he wanted to play. You know what I'm saying? For real. I don't know if I want to play next year. I need some time to think and make my decision on what I want to do. And maybe I don't go to training camp or mini camp and I just come on in, you know what I'm saying, when preseason started. Dude, I mean, like, and this was when Aaron Rodgers was there. And I remember vividly Aaron Rodgers being pissed off about all the waffling back and forth and just wanted to know, what it was going to be, whether he was going to go ahead and take over and be quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Fast forward, 17, 18 years later, now who's doing it? The same exact thing. After every season, yeah, I don't know if I want to play anymore, and I'm just gonna think about it, man. Be all in the media and get on the Pat McAfee show every week and talk. Man, come on, man. Like, dude, make a decision on what you're gonna do, man. Stop being a drama queen, man, and stop wanting all this attention, man. Make a decision on what you're gonna do, man. Stop holding the Packers hostage. If you don't want to be there, man, just say you don't want to be there, man. And Green Bay, one thing I will give to them most of the time is they're a franchise that make the tough decisions, man. They usually, hey man, we're gonna part way, we're gonna part way. I cannot believe I'm watching them fall victim to this Aaron Rodgers thing, man. Green Bay need to step up and make a decision too, even if it hurts them short term.
Yeah,
I wouldn't keep dealing with this, man.
Yep, do it because they owned by the people. They ain't owned. They owned by the people. They
And the
owned by.
rumor is, and the rumor is actually that they are tired of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the rumor that they really are tired of it, and they are exploring possibilities of moving on if it makes, if it makes sense. where it's not gonna hurt him too bad. But man, Aaron Rodgers, man, just stop being a diva, man. Make a decision, man. Be a man. Put your pants on, man, and make a decision, man. That's all I got.
About one last thing, I was today years old when I learned the name Joe Gillum. Go damn dogs. My quarterback got locked up for public indecency in Texas, but go damn dogs.
Go damn dog.
Go
It
damn
was
dogs.
first of all, it was public intoxication. His friends left him on that street. I figured that the friends left him on that street. That's why he was trying to find a way home, knocking on folks' door. But that's all. That's neither here nor there. Yo, one last thing, sir.
Yeah, still drunk. But if he was a black man, he would have got shot. So
God damn, Faye.
just where's the lie? Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Am I telling the truth or what?
Oh man, Faye.
Okay, for real talk. I was today years old when I learned who Joe Gillum was. Today years old, Joe Gillum. He was on your team, Straw. He was a
Yeah,
starter.
the quarterback that Terry Bradshaw, the quarterback that he was actually. They thought he was better than Bradshaw, but Bradshaw some kind of
He
way
was.
surpassed him.
He
Yeah,
was. He had some off the field. He had some off the field stuff, man, that made him not reliable. So they went with Bradshaw. From what I understood, the
yeah.
first I ever heard about it, I don't know. This is where you picked up on it because I know me and Fabian talked. You know what I'm saying, quite a bit about it. You know, he a big fan of KJM like me. Keyshawn brought it up. You know what I'm saying, earlier this week, and that's the first I ever heard of the dude's name when Keyshawn brought it up. But I didn't never look it up to do my due diligence. I'm assuming you did, Faye.
Yeah, Joe Gillum. The 74 season, it was a quarterback battle, and Chuck Knowles said we started Gillum. He's better than Bradshaw.
Mm-hmm.
0-1-1 his first 6 games.
Yeah,
Reason
there was a thing with Bradshaw. Bradshaw was really turnover prone, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gillum ran a foul of Noel for a number of pass plays. He threw 50 passes and ignored the run game. So Chuck Noll was a run first coach, of course. He broke team rules and ignored the game plan. Of course, he was partaking in that snowfall. And we're not talking about the show Snowfall.
I heard he had. I told they say he had personal issues going on that kept him off the field.
Yeah, he died too young. Died at 4 days before his 50th birthday.
Mm.
He was able to attend the last game at Three Rivers before they opened up the Heinz Field or whatever they call it now. If he would have just got his stuff straight, he'd been the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he would have, because his talent didn't change. You had that great defense. You're right. You had a great defense. You had Swan and Stallworth, and you had Franco. So, and that was. But I mean, like I said, personal issues. That's enough to kill anybody's career. I mean, if you can't exercise them demons, baby, you got to be strong enough to exercise them demons. And if you couldn't do it,
and the bad thing about his cut, his 1975 was last year in the NFL. Never made another roster. What could have? That's another example. What could have been, and we don't know. And history could be totally different right now if things would have just broke a little bit different for him. Black quarterbacks would have been looked in a different light. Possibly Doug Williams probably would have never been drafted by Tampa Bay. Probably been drafted by another team. Might have been drafted by 49ers for all we know. And Joe Montana might have not been in the 49ers. Could have been Doug Williams winning the 4 Super Bowls. Just two decisions affect the history for all in as far as African Americans in this realm of sports in the 70s. And don't forget, Tony Dungy was quarterback. He ended up playing free safety for the Steelers. So they say he's too fast. You're too athletic. You don't need to be playing quarterback. Look at us now. We got 2 athletic quarterbacks with good arms in the Super Bowl that look like us. That's our show for tonight. Don't forget Wednesday. That's gonna be our prime time Super Bowl pick'em. We're gonna give our confidence rankings on every part of the game, and we're gonna be live from Arizona. All of us gonna be live from Arizona for this game. If you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you in Idaho. We out.
Peace.